Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our current live stream here. My name is Mark Hanrahan. We are coming to you live, reporting on a wildfire that's broken out near Newman Lake at this hour. It's being called the Cougar Lane fire, and it just started within the last hour or so. I should say it was just reported in the last hour or so. You're taking a live look at an evacuation map right now by Spokane County Emergency Management that they posted. There are level 3 and level 2 evacuations in place. You can see kind of just to the east and northeast of the lake right there. The level 3, those mean leave now. Those means you got to get out. Your life is potentially in danger. Level 2, those mean get set, be prepared to leave at a moment's notice. Here is a photo from Diane Lemley that's sent in. You can see that plume of smoke rising the timber just beyond the lake's edge right there into the air. We do have Ryan Roderick on the line right now from the Department of Natural Resources. Ryan, thank you for joining us. What can you tell us about this wildfire?
Well, Mark, thank you. Right now we're showing that fire at about 3 acres. We have multiple air and ground units that are engaging the fire. As we've seen kind of throughout the last 24 hours, we have some extremely hot and dry conditions. And I would reiterate what you did. If you are under one of those level 3 evacuations, now is absolutely the time to leave. Not only is that for your safety, but it is for the safety of our firefighters who need to access the area.
No, we are just kind of in the initial moments of the response to this wildfire, but you touched on it today. We have this critical fire weather. We're under a red flag warning. When a fire does start, that makes it more difficult to get it contained and to get it put out, especially with the breezy conditions driving those flames. What can you tell us about perhaps the direction the fire is burning and the resources responding at this hour?
Well, right now, as far as resources, we do have those scooper aircraft and helicopters. We have a 20-person hand crew that is en route to help get that fire contained, as well as multiple engines. And this is a shared jurisdiction between DNR and Fire District 13. And I think it just highlights the partnership that we have here in the inland Northwest of all hands working together to address these wildfires during these hot, dry conditions.
Yeah, Ryan, we in this community have just kind of gone through a scenario, I guess, at the end of June where we had that wildfire in the Beacon Hill area. The winds that day were much stronger than they are today. But can you touch on why the weather is such an important factor when wildfires break out like they are today?
Well, these red flag warnings and red flag watches give us the right mix of conditions for wildfire spread. You have extremely dry fuels on the ground. You have the potential for breezy into gusty winds, and that can contribute to a rate of spread. But our goal, as always, is to keep these fires as small as we can, direct as many resources to them as we can, just to ensure the safety of our neighbors and ensure the safety of our firefighters.
It's being called the Cougar Lane fire. When a wildfire breaks out, especially for today, we've spoken with local fire officials and with regional and state fire officials this week leading up to yesterday and today, just knowing the fire conditions were going to be as they are today. Can you speak to the fact of when we have conditions like this, are crews kind of upstaffed in anticipation or maybe hoping to get a jump on wildfires quicker than perhaps when conditions aren't like they are today?
We do stagger our resources early in the season. So we have resources spread throughout the inland Northwest beginning early in the season. Gets us ready to address any wildfires that should pop up in the inland Northwest. So we had full staffing at DNR, both air and ground, staged and ready to engage as these wildfires pop up.
Yeah, and Newman Lake right there, you mentioned the air resources. I imagine being close to a lake, it makes it more, I guess, helpful or makes it quicker for those aerial crews to get water and put that on the flames.
Those air crews, especially helicopters, will dip out of whatever available water resource they have, but I would caution folks, those fixed-wing aircraft, the super scoopers and small scoopers that you see, some of those aircraft can take up to a mile to get their tanks filled and get back in the ground. So we would ask that for recreational boaters, when you do see those aircraft dipping out of the water, you give them as much space as we possibly can to get filled and to get back in the air.
Ryan, we are on a live stream, so if you mind hanging out with us for a couple more minutes, I'd certainly appreciate it. But just want to go over what we know if you're just joining us on this live stream. There is a wildfire. It's being called the Cougar Lane wildfire that's broken out near Newman Lake this afternoon. And there are currently level 3. That means leave now evacuations in place, as well as level 2, which means get ready to leave at a moment's notice. Also in place, those evacuations in place kind of to the areas to the east and to the northeast of Newman Lake. You're looking at that evacuation map right there. The level 3 is the level on top, the shaded area in red on top level. Well, you're seeing both the level 3s right there. For the Cougar Road fire. It broke out, or was at least reported in the last hour or so. And Ryan, you're a bit cut off when we initially came to you, but I think you said at last check it was about 3 acres in size?
Yes, at last check we are estimating about 3 acres, but we do have multiple air and ground resources that are attacking that fire as we speak. We have both engines, hand crews, helicopters, and 2 fixed-wing aircraft that are in the vicinity right now.
We saw a few weeks ago with that upriver fire just the immense number of air resources that responded to that fire to try to get a handle on that one. Will that be the case with this fire?
We do prioritize that air attack, those air resources. It's one of the most effective firefighting tools that we have. Our statistics show that if we can keep these wildland fires to 10 acres or less, the chance that they will grow into a large, costly fire reduces pretty exponentially. So we try to utilize those air resources as fast as possible. We have them staged throughout the inland Northwest. And, of course, we have crews available, both DNR, local fire districts, all working in partnership to address these fires as they emerge.
We saw a picture on the screen, Ryan. I don't know if you're able to see it, but it appeared to be like a kind of a plume of smoke rising from the timber with the lake just kind of in the forefront. Can you speak to the difficulty of reaching some of these fires that break out in these really rural areas?
It can present difficulty, and again, I want to emphasize on those evacuation levels, not just for the safety of yourself and your neighbors, but also firefighters need to gain access to these areas to do structure protection, to do the work of containing that fire. So if you are under an evacuation level, it is critical that you leave immediately.
All right. Yeah. So make sure you stay in tune with Alert Spokane and your local officials in terms of those evacuation areas. But again, a wildfire burning near Newman Lake this afternoon, roughly 2 to 3 acres in size at last check. As you just heard, ground crews and air crews are responding to this one. So we will continue to monitor this situation and bring you the very latest coming up on KREM 2 News at 4 o'clock tonight.